Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're going to learn how to type in sequences into our calculator. Okay, so first we have this sequence, un equals -1 to the power of n times 2n minus 1. Okay, so we're going to take the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so forth, and we're going to make a sequence out of this. If you were to do it by hand, you would get -1 to the power of 1 times 2 times 1 minus 1. This whole thing is going to give you -1. And if you look at n equals 2, then you're going to have -1 squared times 2 minus 1. That's going to give you a +1 here. This is going to give you a 3. Okay, so your sequence should be 1, 3, and then so on. Okay, we're going to get the first 4 terms using the calculator. Alright, so first thing you need to do on your TI84 is you need to click on Mode, and you get this screen to come up. And then down here where it says Function, we're going to change it to Sequence. And then when you hit the Y equals button, you have this come up. Okay? So we're taking our sequence starting with n equals 1. Sometimes you do 0 and you have to change this to 0, but we're going to use n equals 1. And here, so here un, that's where we're going to type in our equation. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bracket, -1, so I'm going to type it in exactly as it is here, to the power of. Now when you click this button, you won't get x anymore, you'll get an n. Looks a bit squiggly, but that's an n. Okay, and then we're going to multiply by 2n minus 1. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You can see a graph if you want to, or just go second table and you'll get all the values. It's not defined for 0, and then we can look at all the values here. So you see we have -1 and we have 3 and we have -5 and we have 7. So those are your first 4 terms. You can write them down. If you want the 100th term, you can scroll down to 100. Or you could quit out, and one way to do it is you can press second and then 7, that gives you a U. And we're looking for the 100th term, so we'll put 100 inside brackets, press enter, and up pops the 100th term. It is 199. Okay, so that one's 199. Okay, so that's a regular sequence. This one here is what we call a recursive sequence. Alright, so this one means, okay, like the second term, you're going to do twice the previous term and then add 3. Okay, so in a recursive sequence, so you need initial conditions. So this means your first term is 0. So we start off with 0. To get your next term, you do 2 times 0 plus 3 gives you 3. To get your next term, you do 2 times 3 is 6 plus 3 gives you 9, and so forth. Okay, so times 2 plus 3. Alright, now another way to do this, or write this, and this is the way it's going to look on your calculator. You can write it as un equals twice un minus 1 plus 3, so like that. Okay, this means the previous term. That's what we're going to do in our calculator right now. We're going to go here, clear out whatever's there. Start off with 1. Yeah, we're starting off with the first n equals 1. And now here, un min, that is your initial term. So u1, that's where we're going to put in u1. So I'm going to scroll down there and type in 0. And up here is where you're going to put in your expression 2 times the previous term. So you're going to do second, and u there, and bracket, and n minus 1. So n is here, minus 1. Okay, and don't forget to do the plus 3 here. And then we'll go to the table, and we get the first 3 terms. And if we want the 100th term, again, we do u of 100. Okay, in this case we get a huge number, you get about 1.90 times 10 to the power 30. Okay, in the next example, we have 2 initial conditions. Okay, the first term is 0, the second term is 1, and then to get the third term we do this. We do 2 times previous term plus 3 times the one before that, which in this case would be 2 times 1 plus 0 is 2. Okay, then we do 2 times this one, which is 4, plus 3 times that one is 3, we get 7 for the next one, and so forth. Okay, so we're going to do that on the calculator. So we'll go to that menu again, and we have two initial conditions, 0 and 1, so we need to type that in here after the 0. We're going to go to second, and we're going to insert a comma, and then the 1. Make sure the curly brackets are still there, and we'll type in our function over here. Okay, we already have it. Oh, let me put that back. So 2 times the previous term plus 3 times the one before that. Okay, so u of n minus 2 in this case. Close my bracket. So if I want the first 3 terms, I can go to the second table. And they're actually 1, 0. We have to be very careful there. I think they reversed the 1 and the 0 here. So let's go back. I believe this has to be 1, 0 for some strange reason. Let's try that. Okay, now we get 0, 1, 2, 7, like we should get. So I have no idea why you have to reverse those two numbers, but that's what you have to do. Okay, so if you want to get the 100th term, we can do u of 100, and I'm guessing this is also going to be a huge number. Yeah, it's 4.3 times 10 to the power of 46.